Welcome, Chills here with a season 9 episode 2 of Rick and Morty review. We'll get right into it. It starts off with a nice cozy camping segment. Kind of felt like I was watching an Outdoors Boys video. We then see it was Rick as he heads into a bowling alley to hang out with some friends. Except we don't know any of these characters, and they're calling him Ted instead of Rick. We then cut to the intro. After the intro, Rick and his friends are shooting the shit at the liquor store when a robber comes in and points the gun at Rick's face, and Rick's arm turns into a robot and stops him from hurting Rick. And weirdly, this really freaks Rick out. I'm saying weirdly because Rick knows that he's like a cyborg. He made himself that way. And he starts low-key tweaking. He walks back to his RV. He runs back to his RV, and hologram Rick shows up to tell him that this life he thinks he lives is just bullshit. It's just Rick's vacation mode, where he makes himself stupid for a little bit just to enjoy life a little. That makes Ted tweak even more, thinking like it's just not even real. Rick even gives him some buttons to click on if he's fine or if it's actually an emergency. Like if it's an actual emergency where he comes getting picked up, or blue, just continue your vacation. Ted leaves the RV without even pressing a button, just freaking out. He goes back to the old bowling alley where he has a chat with the bowling alley lady, Marjorie. They drink their problems away, having a nice old chat, and then it cuts to him waking up in her bed the next morning. And as he's leaving, she's like, "Don't go." And he's like, "I'm not." He then kind of wants to rebel against his own self, really. He doesn't want to be vacation person. After he wakes up in Marjorie's bed, he goes back to the RV and just puts the RV in the woods. Just like I don't know, like just I don't know what he thinks that's gonna help, but I guess he does. And he tells his friends about how he's on vacation mode and that he's not even real. And later that night, they're all sleeping in like a cabin, and Rick sees like a big light outside and goes to investigate. He finds an egg-looking shaped thing. It's clearly a spaceship, and Morty calls him on his leg phone. I thought that was pretty funny. And telling him to get in. His friends then run over the egg with the truck, and then we get a big montage of them setting up the bowling alley for a fight. Then we get a big mass action fight. Um, that Ted, the new Rick, eventually ends up winning against the drones. But in the end, Marjorie was dead, the bowling alley lady, and then Ted makes his own spaceship to track down like his real family or whatever. And they go to Morty's house with his friends. And they stay and hang out a bit. And Ted decks them out with all sorts of cool stuff like robot arms and laser beams. And I don't know if that's a good idea. um he then kind of is getting more nihilistic as the days go on, and he just sends his friends home with a portal gun. and he starts having an existential crisis. We get a montage of him traveling through random dimensions just to feel anything. Even goes to like some trippy island thing. He then goes to visit Marjorie's grave to pour one out for her, and he sees his old friends there, and there was another grave there that was one of their other friends who got killed by his own robot arm that Rick gave him. He had something in his eye apparently, and the robot arm tried to get it out and killed him. Then Ted shreds anything from the vacation life in the shredder and goes to return himself back to normal, thinking that being smart would fix all his problems. And when he does, you can't really tell if it worked or not. Then, as he's walking out, Morty asks him if it worked, and he just looks at him and says yeah and walks out. Overall, it was kind of a fun episode that also reinforces its nihilistic view on things and explores Rick's character a bit more. It's a well done, solid episode, but just like a downscale from the last episode. But still a very good episode, probably like a 7.5. Thank you for watching.